Today we are going to focus on reverse Kegels, and before we actually do the reverse Kegels, we're going to do a pelvic floor release by sitting on either a sock or a pair of socks, a soft ball or a slightly harder ball. It's up to you which you use, and we're also going to use a small towel to sit on for this. So just bring the small towel underneath the backside. Now, if you're a guy and you feel a little tender in your pelvic floor, just use a single sock or a pair of socks. You could also use a soft ball, some sort of a little stress ball, something that's a little bit harder. All we're trying to do is bring our awareness to the pelvic floor so that we have something to relax on. And by sitting on something, you give yourself that opportunity to just feel that there's something there, and then you allow yourself to relax over it. So I'm going to use the therapy ball. Now this one is quite hard and it's quite big, and I'm used to doing this, so it's okay for me to do this, but do please start on a gentler ball if you're not used to it. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to place this on the perineum, and the perineum is the space between the vaginal opening and the anus on a woman, or the scrotum and the anus on a man. So it's just that soft tissue where all of the muscles of the superficial pelvic floor come and meet. So just place it underneath you, and then you might need to adjust just a little to find the right spot. And it's helpful to sit on the little blanket because it gives you a little something to rest on. And when you start, this is quite tough to start. So we're just going to place the ball there and we're going to start to let go. So as you begin the process of letting go, I want you to first notice around the hips. So you want to try to be a little soft around the hips. You want to be soft in the adductor muscles. So when I say soft, I mean you want to be letting go. So don't be gripping, but instead begin this process of letting go. And as you let go, you can see my body is adjusting a little. So as you start to let go, this ball starts to create a little bit of pressure around the perineum. And as you feel that pressure, I want you to begin the process of letting go. So as we let go here, imagine that the ball is like a strawberry and that your perineum is like chocolate. So imagine that your muscles are chocolate and they're melting over the strawberry. So just take that visualization in your mind as you allow yourself to relax. Notice where you're gripping. So notice where you feel the most tension and allow everything to be soft and release. And as you do this, you might feel a little bit of tension in the glutes. So try to let go of the glutes. So try to be really soft. Notice if changing the position of the body by moving forward or backward, or a little to the left or a little to the right. Notice if that makes a difference in how much you're able to let go. And you can let the hands rest on the legs here. Of course, if you're not comfortable with sitting cross-legged, you can place a bolster between your legs and you can relax that way. So letting go, noticing how it feels. Try to release all of the tension. Try to allow the glutes, the adductors, the hamstrings, everything to be really soft, and allow the pelvic floor to relax and to open. And as you allow this deep surrender, try to find any little area where you feel tension. Now, you shouldn't feel pain. If it's painful, you need to come to something that's a little gentler. We're not going to be here for much longer, so just keep relaxing, keep letting go. And then we're going to just bring the fingers forward, and we're gently going to lean the body forward and just lift up, remove the ball, and take a little moment here. So as you take this little moment, just bring your awareness inside. And as you bring the awareness inside, allow pelvic floor to relax a little deeper. So you notice that was a little bit compressive, and after that little bit of compression, you should feel that sensation of blood coming back to the area, of all of the nutrients and the fluids in the body coming and surrounding that area. So you can feel almost as though everything is being rejuvenated and refreshed. And as you allow that feeling, just let the legs be heavy. Let the hips be heavy. The sitting bones are relaxing on the little blanket. And then we're going to begin with our reverse Kegels. So for the reverse Kegels, I want you to bring your awareness to the pubic bone at the front and the tailbone at the back. And as you inhale, I want you to imagine those two areas moving away from each other. So imagine length coming into the pelvic floor. And then bring your awareness to your sitting bones. You can feel them pressing into the blanket. And as you inhale, I want you to imagine that the sitting bones are gently moving a little away from each other. So you're not doing anything here, you're just allowing the breath to move towards the pelvic floor. And as you do this, there is a natural expansion. And then you're exhaling, and as you exhale, you're just continuing to let go. And then as you inhale, I want you to imagine that the front portion of the pelvic floor is expanding. So imagine that the air is moving down towards the front portion, the urogenital diaphragm, the front triangle. And as you exhale, allow everything to be soft. And then inhaling, I want you to imagine that the breath is moving to the back triangle. So where you have your anal sphincter and all of the muscles that support the back part of your pelvic floor. So imagine an expansion in that area. And exhale, relaxing everything completely. So inhaling, feeling the pelvic floor soften and expand. And exhaling, allowing everything to relax a little deeper. Inhaling, I want you to feel the weight of your body pressing down, and imagine that the air is moving down into the base of your pelvis. And exhaling, as you exhale, allowing the shoulders to become a little heavier, allowing everything to become a little more relaxed here. Inhaling, feeling the expansion, and exhaling, feeling the relaxation. Then just take a little break, take a little moment. So you're just going to lean the weight forward a little, just lift the backside slightly from the little pillow, so your sitting bones are just off the little towel that you have placed beneath you. You'll feel when you do this that there's a little bit of a stretch through the pelvic floor. So just take a moment here, and then we're going to come back to sitting on the sitting bones. And as you do that, we're going to again go for another round. So in this round, we're going to inhale, feel the expansion and the softness in the pelvic floor. Exhale, allow the body to become a little heavier. Inhale, imagine that there's length coming from front to back. Exhale, imagine everything getting a little heavier. Feel the weight coming out into your legs. Inhale, imagine the sitting bones are gently spreading as you allow the weight of your body to relax. And exhale, imagine that your shoulders are relaxing a little more. Inhale, imagine the expansion through the entire front triangle of the pelvic floor. And exhale, everything is getting a little heavier. Inhale, imagine the back triangle expanding. Imagine that the breath is coming out through the butt cheeks. Exhale, feel the weight of your backside a little heavier on the towel. Inhale, I want you to feel that the whole pelvic floor is expanding. So imagine in all directions the pelvic floor is moving away from you. Exhale, feel the heaviness of the whole body as you rest in this sitting position. And then we're just going to again bring the hands forward. We're just going to lift the backside just a little bit up. If you want, you can place your elbows on the floor so you're up just a little higher. And as you relax here, let your belly hang. So allow everything to be a little bit heavy. And then we're going to come back up. So taking whatever little adjustment you need to, make sure that you can feel your sitting bones sitting on that little towel that is beneath you. And then we go again. So as we inhale, feel the breath moving, feel the expansion of the rib cage. And as you do this, the pelvic floor is relaxing. As you exhale, allow the weight of the body to be a little heavier on the mat. Inhale, I want you to imagine the front and the back of the pelvic floor as though they're moving away from each other. So imagine length and softness. Exhale, imagine the weight of the hips getting a little heavier on this little towel you're sitting on. Inhale, imagine the sitting bones are gently moving away from each other, just under the pressure of your breath. Exhale, imagine that the weight of the legs are getting a little heavier. Inhale, imagine the front triangle of your pelvic floor expanding as though the air is moving through the front of your body and coming to the front of the pelvic floor. Exhale, imagine that everything in the front is relaxing and releasing. Inhale, imagine that the breath is coming to the back side of the pelvic floor. Feel as though the breath is moving out through the glutes. Exhale, allow the backside to rest a little heavier on the mat. Inhale, imagine the entire pelvic floor expanding in all directions. Feel an openness. Exhale, allow the whole body to relax. Inhale fully, breathing as though the air can reach your pelvic floor. Exhale completely, allowing the lungs to empty, allowing the shoulders to become heavier as you exhale. One more deep inhalation. With this inhalation, feel the expansion through the entire center of the body. And as you exhale, allow everything to become soft. So that is our little reverse Kegel practice today. I hope that you enjoyed it. Please remember to talk about pelvic floor dysfunction. If we talk about these things, then we can break the taboo for those who suffer in silence. Together we can and will make a difference.